a lot of sand in your car. I don't know where that's come from. So good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
And how are we today?
I'm fine.
So it's kind of review and regroup, really?
Hi.
And build towards another go. So I mean, if we have a look at how are you feeling about it now that you've had a bit of time to sort of process it?
I still feel frustrated by it.
Yeah. What is it that frustrates you?
Just that I know I'm alright, you know what I mean? I'm good, and I suppose it's like, oh, you don't get it, do you?
Well, that's the thing. It's we went in for it. The guy gave you his opinion. You just got to kind of take it for what it is and think: is there anything you can learn from it? Do you think?
Well, I suppose now I know what to expect.
You've been
But
through
I
it.
suppose I already sort of knew what to expect anyway with mock tests, but
I said all that worrying about mirrors and lane positioning. Never even mentioned, was it?
can't win.
It's
You worry about one thing, and I do agree. I shouldn't have worried about it. Maybe I shouldn't have read the comments, and
well, it's easy looking back, isn't it?
it is. It's easy to play the blame game and whatever else, and
But it's when you've got that kind of niggling little voice in your head, it gets in the way, doesn't it?
oh god, yeah.
And then you've never ever got reverse parking wrong. Never.
I know.
Even your first attempt. And
I
you've
know.
nailed it every time we've done it. And it's, do you think, your mind being focused on something else maybe just pulled your concentration away, or was it?
Well, we can say that, we can argue that, but my concentration should be on everything then, shouldn't it? But
Well, it's very easy to be hard on yourself, but I think sometimes it can be useful. Anyway, we're not going to go over it like a post-mortem, but it can be useful sometimes just to review and think, well, how did we get into that sort of mindset? And then it's a case of, well, okay, how can we work around and not get in that mindset? But it's very difficult when you've got a lot of conflicting stuff. It can be hard. And it's, I've tried as much as I can to sort of say to people, well, look, no, I don't believe that's the case. It's this, it's this, it's this. And the one thing that I suppose that's positive that comes from the test is that, well, it showed you that, we were right. That you didn't need to worry about those kind of things.
mirrors, yeah.
It's,
And that's what everybody were commenting on.
it's the world that we live in as instructors. Well, it's all about find the fault, fix the fault. And you've got to have this routine, you've got to do this in this order, and you don't. You've just got to be safe and interact with those that are around you. So, what do you want to get out of today?
I did want to go to a test route again. What
Okay,
I did
fine.
and what I went and did, and
Right, okay, you can do that. And then we're going to explore maybe how you're feeling while we do it and see if there's what we can do to help. Or
it's weird being in driving. I haven't drove since.
it seems like forever, doesn't it? I mean, it isn't that long, but...
It's not that long now, but it does.
So we're just going to use today as a kind of shake the
I've got
rust
a
off.
sweet. Do you want a sweet?
Oh, come on then. Thank you.
Sherbet lemon, gorgeous.
Sherbet lemon. I haven't had one of these for ages.
I'm slightly addicted to them at the minute.
Oh.
So we'll be talking like this all the way through.
Sound like that rag and bone man. So I'll let you just take yourself where you want to go. I've broken my 70 sunglasses.
Oh no!
I'm gutted.
It's a bit cloudy anyway, it shouldn't be too bad.
I'll never be able to get them all. They stopped making them in the 70s. Off you go when you're ready.
Oh, it's weird having that on. What close very curb.
I sometimes have these little moments, these sensors.
Should we maybe not talk about test? Or shall we?
It's entirely up to you. So we can revisit.
I'm glad you put that out why I actually, failed.
Well, I don't
No
think...
mirrors because
Well, it's once you introduce the element of doubt, all sorts of things start to happen. You start to doubt yourself with everything. Well, we took a little bit of flack. People saying, "Oh, I can't believe you're blaming YouTubers." It's not what I was doing.
oh no, it's no one's fault but me.
No, well, we prepared as best we could. Took the test, got the result we got. Well, let's just work on getting a different result next time. Like you say, we don't want to play the blame game, but it's amazing how negative thoughts and feelings can really impact on you.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
Getting big of those potholes, aren't they?
I wish I'd been here this way for a while. We always seem to go left, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. I don't know why, it's just the way it sort of pans out. That's why these little, like humming little tunes and things.
Actually, we're going to cross the road.
Yeah, I should have that look about it. Humming these little tunes or focusing on how much you're breathing can just occupy your mind in a way that stops the negativity kind of taking root.
Yeah.
So what's your view on the hesitancy issue that he flagged up?
What it was we were at that mini roundabout and you could go left or right. Clear to me right and they were coming flying through me left. I'll show you.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll go down this way. I'll show you where we are first because then you'll be able to see, and I know you said and you probably do know.
Is it the one near the
railway?
Yeah.
But you can't, what life you see. Well, you can, but you can't see them coming through until they get so close, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Speed down it 'cause it's 20 miles an hour down it.
So it's a fine line, isn't it, between being careful and being hesitant?
That's it. I thought I was being as careful because I thought that was the safest way of waiting for that woman to stop. Because I've seen, while I've been sat there, they'll slow down, but they'll just go. And maybe I should have used the proactive whatever, and just edged out or whatever, but...
If you'd shown them that you were going to go, it might have encouraged them to stop.
Well, that's it. And I suppose if I didn't have everybody behind me, it'd be a different story.
Yeah. That's one of those things, isn't it? If you'd arrived there 30 seconds earlier or 30 seconds later, it would have been a different thing. She's been drinking. Just staggering about a bit there. I think it was a good call to wear there because it was.
It's weird driving,
10 past 11. You've been drunk this time of morning.
Might be from night before.
Oh, well, there you go.
test. Where I've gone, I didn't even think.
It's on automatic pilot. Actually, no. Awkward that junction, isn't it?
Well, my position was fine.
It was.
Well, let's see, I've just come out of here.
So you were a bit down at the end of it, and I recall you saying to him that, it was a rubbish drive, and what did he say?
It were a good drive. He said it wasn't a bad drive, or whatever he said.
A couple of things. So it was very easy to be down on yourself when you haven't got the result you want. But it's like we said, when you look at the form, most of the boxes are empty.
Right, I've definitely stopped because this is what confused me when I were at test. I did this.
Okay.
And then I was concentrating on doing that and then that, and I don't...
As long as you
there were
come
no
up-
minors or anything for it, what I did anyway, it was just... And I was like stood here and I thought, oh, shall I wait for them lights to go green? And
Again, it's you start thinking, oh, I'm on my test, I better be careful, or oh, I'm on my test, I better get on with it. And the reality is, if you just do what you do, because it's good enough, more than good enough.
and I was stuck here for absolutely ages, Bob.
But it can be. I've seen it when our office used to be.
So I was probably only driving not long in my test.
I've sat here 10 minutes before, not being able to get out. On a market day, it can be chaos.
How can you say my clutch control with that reverse park? My clutch control's brilliant.
Yeah. Well, he used the term you weren't under control, which is kind of a cover-all, really. It doesn't mean that you'd lost control. You just allowed the car to nudge the curb, so they call that lack of control. Whereas the phrase lack of control kind of makes it seem or sound like you've lost the plot. Of course you haven't. Oh, changed his mind. Must drive the examiners nuts, because they must spend half their life sat at this junction.
Oh, yeah. Should tell us to go a different way then. It's their choice, isn't it? Or do they have to pick a certain route? Or...
What's he doing?
It's not. I can't go. There's a car. I'm not just. What is he just sat there for?
He's trying to be nice.
Holding every leader up.
There's somebody trying to do you a favour, looking at this.
I'm terrible at it.
It is unusual for someone to be that polite.
No, just stop. Right. You might have thought I was on my test or something. Where were he when it test day?
Where were you when I needed you? But when things like that happen on tests, sometimes you look at it and think, oh no, should I, shouldn't I? Oh.
Oh, see, would I fail for that?
Was that the curb or was that the sink?
I don't know.
The sink. So no. So is this the roundabout?
It's the roundabout.
Okay.
Death.
So yeah, you can...
Right, so we're clear to my way, but when you see, you can't see them till very. Do you know what I mean? I know I shouldn't stop then. Okay. So sorry. As if.
There you go. Yeah, so by nudging forward, you're kind of giving them, that I'm coming. Wait for me.
I'd have failed then. Because I was stopping just to show you and I know I shouldn't.
I thought it would let you off this time. But yeah, that's a tricky one, isn't it? Because they do come hurtling down there, but if you started maybe just creeping, you're giving them a signal, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Stop.
No, that's it.
So it's not necessarily the situation that's ahead of you that was the issue, it's the situation behind, where he's saying that, you know, we've held quite a few people up, and then that's regarded as adversely affecting another road user. So if you came to there again, what might you do different, do you reckon?
Not hesitate. Oh, where did you tell me to go now? I think I remember straight up. What do I think I remember? It bloody haunts me every night.
Well, driving it again today might put it all to bed for you. Because you do relive it afterwards, don't you?
Down here, it's hard to keep it.
It is. It's not helped by the fact that it doesn't look like a 30 road either, does it? Once you get out of the houses.
To say, I think we've only been down here maybe once before, haven't we?
Yeah, I think we've come back this way, but I think we've only down this way once, yeah.
So he started telling me to stop about now. Just find a legal, safe and convenient, whatever he said. I think it was about now. I carried on. No, I think it was about now. I stopped just before that sign. About here.
It's nice to see a bit of sunshine today, isn't it? When I went to Germany the other night on the ferry, it was a bit on the wild side.
This is where that bloke, and I was stopped here for absolutely ages. Bloke coming up with car parked all over, and he had to get out of the car and tell him to move because he wasn't going to move, and I was like, what? And it's good. It said at the end of the road, turn left, right, because I thought, well, there's no road markings here. I was like, is this some, or is it just go straight round and that's just a little, you know what I mean?
What do you reckon?
I know now, but when you're up that way and you're looking at it, it's not as clear, is it, that it's a end of the road sort of thing, unless it is and it's just me being stupid.
You can only work with what you've got around you. Generally, when you're coming to a T like that, this road would have priority. It's not always the case, but generally. So is there anything that you need that you haven't got as we go towards another one?
What? Go towards our test?
Yeah.
I like to say no. I don't think there is anything else I need, but...
Because it doesn't matter what I think. It's what you think and feel that counts. He cut that a bit close, didn't he?
I think there are. Is it? I'm not. I'm right.
No, you're in the right position. People just like cutting corners.
Anybody else doing that?
So how close to it being a pass do you reckon you were?
Not very. If it weren't for those two, obviously, I would have passed because there weren't many minors, were there?
No, not at all.
Come on, I'm not going to time it right. He's going that way anyway.
Nice try though. It nearly came off.
Do you have to indicate it?
What do you reckon? It's an unusual one, isn't it?
No, because it's...
So you've
It
decided
wouldn't
to
have
indicate.
happened. That's what I mean.
So you've decided to indicate who you're indicating to.
The bloke behind. He knows what lane I were in, but he might.
You might not be from around here. You might not know that lane marking's there. So as long as you're not confusing anybody, you're alright. That's unusual there, isn't it? Makes life a little awkward when they park like that, doesn't it? There's a big sign.
This is where it is. Don't you think it's quite a busy road to put this on?
Yeah, I suppose if you lived on this road, you'd have to park here, wouldn't you?
No, I mean for a reverse park. Like, you know what I mean? Beeping another bloody near.
So they're a handy tool, but sometimes they get a bit twitchy. What?
Did touch the curb.
So what was different that time than when you did it the time before?
It would behind that red car and I did it. And it's this where I touched the curb, I'll show you. I've changed gear, I'm changing down the gear anyway. Touch it then.
No, no. I used to live down there.
Did you? Can't remember when I did my ill start. Did I do one?
you ever think about the roundabout that we talked about next to the railway? You stop there, that's a hill start when you move off again, isn't it?
I mean,
it's a point of interest that the one thing more than anything else that you're really good at. Parallel parking, isn't it?
I've just been nerves on. The senses might have put me off. I don't know. I really, really don't know. It's literally this much difference. That's all it is.
Oh yeah. I was just interested to see if you could kind of work out what the difference was. I think one of the things for everybody when it comes to any kind of test is that
It's completely different sat next to you than it is.
Well, it can shake your self-belief. You start to doubt yourself.
Yeah.
If you spend a bit of time analysing it, do you need to doubt yourself? Strange how that situation can just make things happen that don't normally happen.
Wish examiners, you could be an examiner.
Well, maybe it would help just to imagine that you are just out, just you and I, or just on your own.
Some people as well say something about my belt.
They say what, sorry?
Say a lot of things like, "How my belt? Where my belt?" So I'm sure of it. It's in.
Well, it's you open up a channel, people feel they've got to say something. Sometimes. The only people who travel at the speed limit are learner drivers and people being followed by the police.
Stop there as well, he just got me to stop there.
Yeah, just do an angle pull away. So you're super aware of what's around you.
That taxi driver had no idea what he was stopping there.
But you were ready for it. I could feel you were ready for it. So, if the examiner had been sat next to you today, what do you think he'd say?
I don't know.
No? Alright then, critically analyse it for yourself. How do you think today's gone?
Maybe there were a few gear changes. That one is smooth, and that bit where we're at top of Warren Avenue. Maybe I should have. Well, stopped, but then there was a car behind me, and maybe I should have waited for a van. Maybe. I couldn't have seen him any earlier than what I seen him. So I don't know. I think maybe that could have been handled in a different way. But
well, it could. But was there anything wrong with the way you handled it?
no, not well. It was safe, but
That's what it's about. So yeah, you could have stayed on the road and waited till he'd come out. But you pulled in, tucked in. You still left him enough room to come in to get out, and you left the road behind you clear. And if you turned halfway in and stopped, then that's an issue. But you cleared the junction, left him enough room to come through. That's good. I think you did. My observation there was that you demonstrated that you'd worked out what was happening and what you needed to do.
and I just can't believe that I touched a curb.
It happens. It's just we all make mistakes.
Tiniest bit.
I stole the car this morning when I left home.
I bloody stalled it today. I can't believe it. It's not a car to stall, isn't it?
Yeah, well, stuff happens. So what else? How do you think your decision making was today?
See, I can't judge what I'm done today because I expected it. I expected where I would go in today. I wasn't expecting it on the day. And maybe that's different from expecting it to the not.
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
But I always think my decision making's fine.
I mean, how many decisions do you suppose you've made in that drive that you've done today?
God, you make loads.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, isn't it? Every second. How many do you get right?
Most of them.
Well, which ones did you get wrong?
I don't know. I can time myself now, I think, so I don't reach that hazard.
And from this seat here, it feels comfy. Well, I've got a brake and a clutch here, but when was the last time I used those? It's eons ago, isn't it? It's so. I mean, how did you feel while you were driving? I mean, we said that you knew where you were going, you were expecting it. Did you feel comfortable, confident?
I always feel comfortable and confident when I'm sat next to you. Okay. I think it were different. I don't know. I was so worried about everything else on my test. My lane discipline and roundabouts and... You know what I mean?
It's an interesting thing that you say about you feel confident when you're sat next to me. Why is that? When do I ever do it?
You don't, but there's been times where you said, "Oh, well done, good job," and all, and I was like, "Oh, thank you." But you haven't said that today. But I've noticed you've noticed.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, that's good. I've tried as much as I can, and being quiet's hard for me.
Oh yeah.
You've probably worked that out. It's interesting for me to investigate it. Forgive me while I think outside the box, or when I think out loud. It's just you feel confident when I'm with you, but what do I do that gives you confidence?
Because you're not telling me whether you're not giving me my pink license, are you?
No.
So he's, so that's maybe why I feel more comfortable and whatever around you, because you're not the final decision maker.
Sure. It's just interesting to look at it so that we might be able to find something in there that can maybe help you to be a different, or to feel a different way when you go next time. Maybe just imagining that you are sat next to me. I don't know. Maybe it'll help. This distraction thing is massively powerful. I don't know if you've been following Nikki's lessons through. She had a big issue that I hadn't spotted, really. I hadn't realised how much of an issue it was for her approaching fast-moving roundabouts. And she said to me, oh, you should have a box in that book to tick when you're terrified of things. Terrified? That's a strong thing to say. Have you ever been terrified? She was like, oh, God, yeah. What? When? She says, well, it's fast-moving roundabouts. And what I said to her was, okay, we tried, I talked her through it, I showed her how to do it. It was sort of working. Oh, your mate?
My mate.
He's actually all right.
I'm not saying he isn't.
But I'd said, well, when we have another go at it, I want you to just focus on your breathing. Fixed. I said to her, how'd that feel? Great. She was like, la 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 la. So it's what happened. I'll explain it to you a little bit. I don't know if I'll try and make a good job of it. There's only so many things you can think of in your conscious mind at once. You get above 8 or 9 or 10, your brain overloads. Everything that you do when you're driving happens in your subconscious. That's where all your decision making happens. If you start bringing that into your conscious mind, you'll end up all over the place, and it's just stuff goes wrong that didn't before. So if you can sort of distract yourself or distract your conscious mind and just trust yourself, that's the key thing, because you know your decision making's fantastic. Your car control skills are tremendous, and it's just that self-trust that's possibly the bit that was missing.
I think
it's easy to say.
Right. It's easy to say. Definitely, it's easy to say blame game and all that. Like, what's happened, but.
So
I think there were definitely contributing factors to.
There were. You're the product of the environment that you're in, and you have all these little things, and once the seed of doubt is sown, boy, it'll grow quick. So it's that self-trust that comes with you've had to think about what the route was, and you've driven yourself around it, probably relived some of the emotion you were feeling when you did it last time. You've coped with all of that. So does that help when it comes to preparation for next time? That's what it's all about now.
I'm hoping I'm better, because last time, even on the drive, when I'd noticed I'd done something, I'd like, oh, I'm really sorry, and then I shouldn't have done. And maybe that's what's...
Well, it's it was all flooding into your conscious mind then, and it was just messing around with it, with what was happening. Your normal decision making wasn't quite as good as it wasn't as normally, and you were rattled. So
I was worried about mirrors as well. Like, right, if I've checked that mirror, then I'll check that mirror,
That's right. And then of course whilst you're doing that, all that daft stuff starts to happen. So it's I think really for preparation for the next test, it's mental more than else. You've got a great set of skills, so you just need to be able to showcase those. So anything we can do that's going to help you to just kind of get in the right frame of mind, you can have a think about it. Have a bit of a trial and error with, imagining different things happening, and or singing a song. What was it last time? Peppa Pig. That sort of stuff can maybe help. But it's seeing it for what it really is. Look at the stuff that you do, and how you cope with things. Even now, we've proved the point that the mirrors thing was not necessarily something that we should have worried about too much. And again, the lane discipline thing was no mention of it, was there?
No.
Not at all. In fact, he told you that it was a good drive, just spoiled by a couple of things. So have a think about what you want to do next time.
When's next time?
I'm busy as a busy thing next week. Tuesday would be okay, or late on Friday afternoon. So I'm running courses this week.
Oh, you're asking a lot there, Bob. Because all that I ever do in that shop is clothes. So, in fact, I'll tell you what, I took a picture of bloody rotors. Oh, you broken it? No, yesterday I was babysitting my friend's kid and we'd knocked it off at table.
Rats.
I know. And the amount of times I've thrown this and in anger and dropped it and I think that's this week. What date are we on?
It's the 20th today.
So are you looking for next week?
Can you read that through all them cracks?
Yeah. Oh my god. I'm not working on Monday.
I'm running a course all day Monday, unfortunately.
I'm at work at 2:45 on Tuesday.
Oh, so do you want a lesson and straight to work?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I pick you up at say quarter past one-ish?
Yeah.
Jumping. So, do you want to take yourself home?
Right. How do I get round there?
One way to find out. That's another reason I like this car.
What?
Really manoeuvrable.
Easy.
So while you're doing your review of the lesson, really focus heavily on what you got right.
She went loose then. You know what he said? Like, pressed in accelerator. Say that again, sorry Bob.
So focus on what you got right.
Today?
Yeah. Start having a think about that. And go back over the last, I don't know, half a dozen lessons. Look at what you've done right.
Yeah. Stay there. I don't know why I waved him. You should have stayed there anyway.
It wasn't quite being proactive defensive, that was more bullying, wasn't it?
That failed now. That failed.
Just winged it.
Oh. Now I'm upset.
Well, it's that can be used as a learning trigger, can't it? You're like, oh, that didn't work the way I wanted. What will I do next time?
Do you think if I'd ever had a really, really, really good drive and I had like hardly any minors or whatever, and then that happened right at the very end, do you think they'd mark me down?
Well,
in a serious?
I think they take it would depend. I mean, if you clattered into the curb, no. If you winged it like you did there, it's only a teeny tiny mistake. You've got this much difference in the steering. I am of the belief that an examiner would probably cut you a bit of slack. They don't like failing people, you know. I know people sometimes think they do, but they don't.
Or it's all that. I bet he passed loads that day, so I bet that's why I thought. No, it's
Can't let
not.
any more through. Because people say, "Oh, you should never sit your test on a Wednesday." Nobody passes on a Wednesday. And if you're at the end of the month, well, they'll have met their quota by then, so there's no point in even going. Do you think these stories are started by people who passed the test, or by people who failed the test?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard anybody say to you, "Oh, I failed my test because I just didn't drive very well"? Nobody says that to them.
No.
Actually, no. I drove like a pillock. That's why I failed.
Alright, I've admitted it. I've not
I'm not
said.
suggesting
I've
you
not
drove like a
said
pillock,
that.
by the way.
It was brilliant driving, and then you'll have to stay there anyway.
I mean, the examiner himself said it was a good drive. Just spoiled by a couple of bits. What was the other phrase he used? You'll put it right. No bother at all, or something like that, he said.
What, right at end?
Yes. He said, yeah, you'll put it right, no bother at all.
I wasn't really so crying my eyes out.
Oh, good. Well, he said nice things. You know. The overall
No,
story,
yeah, like
was
you
good.
said, like there's not a lot to work
Not a lot
on.
to work on, that's it. And there's not, is there, really? So, you know, when you
Well,
think
that's
of...
a place to park, isn't it?
It's, yeah, interesting. When you think about it, you know, that mini roundabout, it's very easy to keep going over and over and over that, and I'm sure you have, and think, oh,
Yeah.
what I got wrong, what I got wrong, I made a mistake, yeah, I did that. Instead, just look at it and think, it's not good, it's not bad, it's not right, it's not wrong, it's just, it was what it was. What might you do different? And remove that sort of judgmental way of looking at it. Just think, all right, that's what happened then. If I came to that situation again, what would I do now? And then even maybe replay the situation in your head with you doing something different. Other things that can help.
What's it going to be like? Do you think? Because I'm thinking, with it being the day that it is, it'll be a nice busy day, and I'll come across things that I can show him. I'll, you know. Good
Oh, I
at
think
driving.
if you get a busy day with lots of things happening, I think that really plays to your strengths.
That's it. That's.
But
And I should be good at reversing, because I'm forever reversing here, aren't I?
like I say, how many times have you done reverse parking now? Loads. And how many times have you got it wrong? Just the once.
One time.
There's lots of things you can do that help some people, like your positive mental images and stuff. You know, like visualising yourself doing it again and doing it well. I think maybe those sensors have got a bit of mud on them and a bit dirty. They're getting a bit twitchy and beepy, aren't they? So stuff like, you know, just breathing exercises can help. There's a website called innerhealthstudio.com. Candy Rombo is the woman on there. She's got a bit of an annoying accent, but there's some great stuff in there for like relaxation techniques to make sure you get a good night's kip the night before, because that's the first thing that normally goes as you sleep, isn't it? You're like waking up thinking, oh my god, I'm worried.
I didn't have hardly any sleep, but what it was work as well. It's that ticket change thing that happens every so often, and I'm in charge of it, and I always, have I got that ticket out? Have I done that? And I worry about that, and then my test, and I think it does affect you, lack of sleep.
Oh,
not that I'm blaming it on it, but it wouldn't have helped.
Well, what we can do is, instead of, you know, like you say, we're not playing the blame game, but let's look at the running that you had, and is there anything we can do different? If there's something we can do that might help you get a better night's sleep, it's not going to hurt, is it?
No.
So maybe have a little look at that. I'll send you the link. And she's got some relaxation scripts that I use occasionally. I have an issue with my neck. I have a joint space shortened, and it gives me a lot of pain sometimes. And I use these relaxation techniques just to slacken everything up, and it does work. But there's an argument that says it works as long as you believe it works. So that's something we can maybe have a think about. And also, you know, just keep reminding yourself of all the good stuff you do. Maybe visualising yourself doing things well. Because it's very easy to go, no, I got that wrong. Well, yeah, but that was, you know, 0.25% of what that hour was about. What about the rest of it? And you know, you can have a think about it. I'm happy to be in your hands with whatever you want to do. But I'm of the opinion that the only piece of the jigsaw that's missing is self-belief. Because you've got everything you need. You can do everything absolutely, not just well, you can do everything brilliantly. And it's just a case of showcasing that. And if we can get rid of any of the stuff that gets in the way, that would be great. Good night's sleep's the first thing. So something to maybe have a practice with. You know, if you've got, I know some days at work are more stressful for you than others. If you have a stressful day at work, try that relaxation technique that night.
Yeah.
And that'll tell you if it's going to work for you or not.
Good idea.
And we'll play around with that. So next Tuesday at 1:15?
Yeah.
Fab. I'll look forward to seeing you then.